Hello viewers, welcome to this session. Good morning all of you. I am going to talk about a very famous poem, Death Be Not Proud by John Donne. Death Be Not Proud is a famous poem of John Donne. This poem is Holy Sonnet number 10. Let me introduce the poet first. John Donne was a leader of metaphysical school of poetry. A metaphysical poem is a poem that expresses ideas which are beyond nature. Metaphysical means meta plus physical. Meta means on or beyond, and physical means things that have clear shape and size. Thus, metaphysical means something that is beyond natural, that is unnatural, that is not traditional, that is not what people have been considering it. In other words, the poet, the metaphysical poets put the upside down and downside up. John Donne wrote many poems. He was a great religious poet. His poetry suffered recognition during his time. Dr. Samuel Johnson commented on his poetry that there was a group of poets in the second half of the 17th century. Their poetry has heterogeneous ideas yoked by violence together. Dr. Johnson's view is critical about metaphysical poetry. Later, T.S. Eliot re-evaluated metaphysical poetry and said that metaphysical poetry is great poetry, poetry of high quality, high watermark. This great eminent poet was born on 12th January 1572 and he died on 31st March 1631 in London, England. John Donne was a great scholar, learned man, secretary, soldier, and above all, a priest. John Donne wrote this poem, Death Be Not Proud, in 1609, and this poem was published in 1633. John Donne was such an industrious man who studied at both the great universities of London, Oxford University and Cambridge University. But he could not obtain degree because of his Catholicism, because of his Catholic religion. Those days Catholics were persecuted minority in England. So, John Donne could not get degree neither from Oxford nor from Cambridge. Later he studied law and science, religion, and many other things. He was a great scholar. He was a scholarly poet. That's why his poetry contains imagery from different branches of learning: science, geography, philosophy, theology, etc. John Donne married his employer's daughter, Annie Moore. So, his father-in-law disapproved this marriage, and John Donne had to suffer a lot on account of this marriage. Now, let me talk about this poem, Death Be Not Proud, which is Holy Sonnet number 10. This is a sonnet. This sonnet contains, a sonnet is a poem that contains 14 lines. The poet, in the poem, the speaker says that death should not be proud. People consider death to be mighty and powerful, but the poet says that death is not powerful. Death is like rest and sleep. It is not better than the charm of poppy. So, John Donne denies the power of death in this poem. Now, let me analyze the poem line by line. Death be not proud, thou some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. The speaker says that the people consider death to be mighty and powerful, but death is not mighty, death is not powerful, death is not so as people consider it. For thou whom thou thinkest, thou dost overthrow. The speaker says that death does not kill a man. Death simply overthrows a man. There is a difference between killing and overthrowing. The speaker says that death does not kill a man. It can only overthrow man. Die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. The speaker says that people do not die at all, and he claims that he cannot kill the speaker, he cannot kill the poet himself. Death has no power to destroy him. From rest and sleep, which thy but pictures be, much pleasure then from thee much more must flow. The poet says that death is like rest and sleep. The poet likens death to rest and sleep. And just as rest and sleep gives us pleasure, in the same way death also gives pleasure. Much pleasure then from thee much more must flow. The poet says that just as rest and sleep removes tiredness and gives joy and pleasure, in the same way death also flows pleasure, joy. It does not give pain or sorrow, as the poet says. And soonest our best men with thee do go. The poet says that best men die young. They go to heaven younger. The poet says that after death, a man goes to heaven, a man goes to God, rest of their bones and soul's delivery. Not only this, death not only gives pleasure, but also delivers the bones, delivers the soul, because so long as a man is alive, his soul is imprisoned, his soul is like a prisoner. As soon as death comes to him, his soul becomes free, his soul gets freedom, liberty, and it goes to heaven, it goes to God. Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings, and desperate men. The poet says that death cannot kill a man. Death takes help from many things, many instruments, such as chance, kings, and desperate men. Chance, it is chance that kills a man. It is kings who persecute men, who execute men, and desperate men kill themselves. And dust with poison, war, and sickness dwell. The poet says that death seeks help from poison, war, sickness, etc. Because people do not die all of a sudden. Before death comes to him, a man becomes ill or diseased, a man takes poison, or a man fights in a battle or war, then he dies. And poppy or charms can make us sleep as well. The poet says that poppy, that is opium, also makes us sleep. So the poet likens death to opium, an intoxicant which makes man unconscious, senseless. So the comparison is very sharp. The poet makes use of conceits and wits throughout the poem. And better than thy stroke, the poet says that the stroke of charm, the stroke of opium, the stroke of the intoxicant is better than the stroke of death. Why swellest thou then? Rhetorical question. There is a rhetorical question. The poet asks, the speaker asks death, "O death, why are you so proud? Why do you swellest? Why do you swell them? Why do you pride them? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die." In the concluding line, 2 lines of the poem, the poet says that after short sleep, death is nothing but a short sleep, and when this short sleep comes, a man wakes forever, a man wakes eternally. Death does not come to him again, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. Death shall not come to him again, and death shall disappear from him, from man, forever. Thus the poet negates the power of death and says that after death a man becomes immortal, he gets eternity, he goes to heaven, he goes to the place of God, and thus there is no fear of death at all. This poem contains 14 lines. It is a sonnet, and the poem, in this poem, the poet has personified death. There is frequent use of this literary device, personification. Death is treated as a human being in the poem. Then this poem has the rhyme scheme of A B B A B B A C D C D A E. On the whole, this is one of the finest poems of John Donne. Thanks for watching.